Bitcoin is breaking out and we are moving here finally above the $90,000 mark. I will show you why this will not stop, and today we're gonna continue to push into even higher levels. I will show you exactly what we need to watch, where we can take trades from, and some altcoins that we can also take advantage of. Let's go. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in here. I need to move the camera a little bit, like this. Yeah, like this, we are fine, good. So we are jumping directly in today's content here. So the dollar is dropping, and that has a really specific reason. Shit, I should have pulled this up, now I forgot about it. But I'm gonna tell you why the dollar is actually dropping here, and why in 38 minutes, I think it's in 38 minutes, let me check here, Eastern Standard Time. Yeah, in 38 minutes, we're gonna potentially see continuation of Bitcoin's move here in the $90,000 range. So we are slightly below this currently, but like $20. But I believe that we're gonna see here continuation in the next 20 to 38 minutes. So the dollar is already going to the downside exactly for that one specific reason here. And before I'm gonna tell you that reason, let's make sure that everybody that is here, smash up the like button, guys, so we get more people in. We are again 26 people. There I see here 32 people. Smash up the like button so that we can continue with the show, that more people see what's actually happening in the market and can take advantage of that. So the reason why the dollar is going down is because of the repo repurchase agreement from the Fed. So I just want to, let me see here if I can put this up here. Fed repurchase. Here, there I have that. Yes, so let me pull this over here. So this is the reason. This is the block. I didn't want to block, but okay, because this is old. Let's see. Do I get here? See, I had this earlier open, and then it closed for whatever reason. So let me get this here straight for you guys. Come on, Fred. Just Fred. No, that doesn't help. Okay, but yeah, let me see if I can get this here. Repo, repurchase. I think now I got it. Yes, that looks already way better. So here, the repo repurchase agreement and operations. So what that basically means is the US government is buying back debt that they have, and they inject for that capital into the market, and this is around $7 billion that they're gonna let loose in 35 minutes when the US market is opening. So once they're opening, you're gonna see another liquidity injection of $7 billion into the markets, and that will of course lead to the dollar to drop even further, because money is rotating out of the dollar into risk assets, and that leads to a forced downwards move and continuation in the dollar, with potentially breaking here the 98 points level. So at the same time, you're going to see Bitcoin going back and continue to move here to the upside. So we did not get a CME gap here yesterday. Here Friday's close and yesterday's opening was coinciding with the potential gap that we would have gotten. So there was no gap and straight continuation to the upside. No need to further look at this. And then here on the weekly chart with our head and shoulders pattern, technically we are now in the midst of the continuation move that we need to complete the right shoulder. So that tells you already, if we want to complete that shoulder here in that move, that we are most likely going here now over the next 2 or 3 weeks, potentially 4 weeks, to the $103,000 level. It can of course happen way faster than that. Technically in the next week's candle, just for the yearly close, to finish that on a high note, because we are right now, I think if I go to the yearly chart, let me pull this up, I think the yearly chart is around the same level. It's plus minus 0 for the year. Let me see here. year, 12 months. 12 months. So where are we at? Oh, well, need to remove that. Need to remove that. Months. So, okay, BYBIT, that's the problem. Let's go to Bitstamp. So, and then we go to the monthly. So let's have a look. Let's have a look. January. January, we are actually below the yearly candle here, the January candle from this year, where we opened. So so even if we would move here to like $109,000, we would be still below January's candle here. So also the December candle, where we closed, the close was at $95,000. So if we want to get here a positive year end, we need to move over $95,000. I believe Bitcoin can manage to do that. We can manage to do that here. But at the same time, whoa, where did my weekly chart go now? Disappeared. Oh, no. Yeah, I know what happened. Okay. Let's get the chart back. Shit, now I lost it. Weekly. Today things are not going as I wanted. Let's see, was this one the right one? No. Okay, never mind. Let's move on. Let's move on here. So yeah, so even if we would move up to like $103,000 and complete that the right side of the right shoulder, we would then finish the year at least on a small high note, but around the yearly close, I expect more volatility. So Bitcoin has potentially here 9 days to run to the upside, and then around the New Year's candle, I expect that we're gonna get some volatility there that could lead to some more downside afterwards. But for now, everything looks good for a nice move here to the upside. As you can see here, we have now successfully multiple times retested the downward sloping trend line. If we close today's candle, the daily candle, as it is, this is the only thing that we need. If we close it as it is, and maybe, just maybe, move here slightly higher to like $91,000, that would be, for me, the nail in the coffin to say, okay, we are ready for continuation, at least to $93,000. And once we're breaking above this, then the bump and run pattern is in full swing, in full motion, and that move will not stop before $104,000, or $104 to $105,000, all the way up here, and could potentially spike into the 200 moving average here at $107,675. So, but for that, a lot of things still need to be happening here. But at the same time, I also want to point out we have here a massive W formation right now, also in the works right now. So the neckline is setting here at the $93,263 level. Just want to show you the technical target of this. So even with like, let's do conservative approach. So here $102,000 approximately would be the target. So like an 11% move to the upside from the neckline. So honestly, I can wait that we get above $92,500 to enter that trade. That is another 3% before I would be comfortable entering this and then trade this here all the way to the upside. So here the setup is for me good enough. 13% to the upside into year's end. I'm good with that. I don't know what you guys think, but for me that's fine. In like 30 minutes potentially. I'm not saying we're gonna potentially pump, because there's $7 billion getting injected into the markets that could lead to a massive continuation pump. Now, on this rising wedge pattern, I see here a potential invalidation of that pattern because we're retesting now the upward sloping support line of that rising wedge. So if we break back into that rising wedge, it will completely reverse and break to the upside. So that is something that I had mentioned before, that in many bull markets that I have seen things like that, where you get like a rising wedge and then you get a small fake out below, then come back, basically here getting a divergence, and then you continue to move here into higher prices. So this looks pretty similar right now, but for this we need to get here a little bit higher. Not much, like 1%. 1% is enough to be in that rising wedge, and if we close here in that rising wedge today, then most likely tomorrow you get a continuation move to the top side to $95,000. I'm not saying that we directly break out of that. We could still consolidate a little bit longer before you get then that breakout higher, but a break back into that rising wedge would be already tremendously bullish here in the imminent short term for us. On the 4-hourly chart, so here we are seeing currently why we get rejected, and this is the point of control. I had mentioned that also yesterday, that this point of control is really, really important and will pose a resistance, and price needs to move here into that area to prevent us from falling below the EMA ribbon again, and get continuation to the downside. So luckily Bitcoin did make the turnaround. The EMA ribbon is about to flip here, but at the same time we also need the current 4-hourly candle to at least turn into a doji up here. So basically slightly below the point of control, that is enough so that the next candle can then here push again to the upside and mark then overall a continuation pattern consisting out of the previous candle and the current 4-hourly candle, with the next following 4-hourly candle also pushing to the upside. So but that the EMA ribbon is flipping back into an uptrend is already a really, really healthy continuation sign for us here, because now the EMA ribbon will, on the way down, if price comes back here to the EMA ribbon, act as support at around $89,000, and that will then hence lead to a squeeze between the price and the point of control, where we're coiling up and getting then a break here into higher levels at some point. On the 15 minutes chart, here with the indicator that I had given you guys yesterday, the smart money, smart money breakouts indicator. So here I have now better understood how you can actually trade with this, because I backtested earlier something. So here it basically goes, when it prints here this plot here, that is not where you should directly enter. So the entry came here, down here in that candle. And that candle was the entry for that move here. So we have not reached the target yet. You can also adjust risk to reward in that indicator itself. That's also what I did to 1 to 3. So, and if I go now here and I pull this up to the target and then to and I leave it at the stop loss. So I think that has adjusted a little bit the target. But if I go, because it was 1 to 3 exactly earlier, yeah, I think it moved the target a little bit down. So this was the prior target. So now if I move it down, still 2.75 is still fine. We're talking at 1.87%, and that's technically a scalp trade that you're taking here, or like an intraday trade. The worst would be an intraday trade that you're taking here. So also what you need to understand is they are not always profitable. So here you cannot get this right now. Let's see. No, also not like this. There. So there you see 137 to 141 trades. So that means this is like a 49% win rate on that indicator. 49% is actually good enough if you have proper risk management, guys. That's the only thing that it comes down to make money here, even with a 49% win rate. If you make sure that your losses are tremendously small and your wins are way bigger than your losses, then you would still make money on that strategy on the 50 minutes chart. So, but now on the 50 minutes chart, you see here we are pulling back a little bit. This is first of all because we ran into the point of control, but at the same time also here that current level that we are retesting was prior a strong resistance. So we are retesting this now as support, and if we can in the next 23 minutes stay above that level, I reckon that we're going to break here through the point of control and move here to $91,500 as a short-term target. So this level is actually not that bad to open trades right now. So there is a bearish scenario. The bearish scenario would be we are getting the liquidity injected, and that whole move here today was basically a front run situation of the liquidity injection, and we just go sideways or sideways down. So, but overall, the trend is about to shift here, and there is there's only limited downside that we experience. I don't see that we're gonna see here the shenanigans again, where price does something like this, you know, and then comes straight back up. You know, it really doesn't feel and look like this anymore since this morning. The other days before, last week, yes, multiple times, but this looks way different right now. So also here, the stochastic almost bottoming out here, with the current 50 minutes kind of definitely bottoming out. RSI going down, cooling down, and the MACD slightly bearish here because of the downwards momentum, but this I think is going to shift here really, really soon. If you want to take any of these trades, guys, then go to Margex. There is still a $1,000 trading competition going on. Don't forget this. Let me actually show that to you. Oh, actually, I forgot this. So here in the banner here, you see there's a $1,000 prize pool. So if you want to trade on Margex, guys, there's a link in the description where you can sign up, take advantage of all the deposit bonuses and the $1,000 prize pool that you can get here when you trade on Margex. So over here, so there is the website. Now liquidation levels. Let's see what happened here. On the liquidation levels, so we got already here a small short squeeze earlier when we took out the over-leveraged short liquidity at $89,700. Here, again, a bearish situation. Worst case, a move back to like $88,800 to take the liquidity that's built up over here over the weekend. But then I think straight continuation. Let's see here the higher time frames. Let's see a monthly one. Yeah, you see here to the upside is still more liquidity than to the downside stacked, and I can definitely see here a move to $91,300, which is kind of in the alignment with what I said earlier, with the $91,500 level. So I would be not surprised if we squeeze all the way up there to touch 91,500, then turn around a little bit again, consolidate before we continue to move from there into higher levels. So if you want to trade altcoins with me, guys, before I move into altcoins, then do this on WEEX. If you trade on WEEX, you get $400 absolutely for free just for binding your phone, email address, and downloading the app. Plus another $400 if you deposit $500. And if you do that, you get access also to my Telegram channel, where I had called Monero a couple days ago, and we completely smashed that here so quickly. It was insane, and I'm about to send later today a new trade into the Telegram group. So make sure that you are trading on WEEX or on Margex, deposit $500 to get access to that group. You send an email to info@amcrypto.us if you followed all the steps that are in the description, or you write me on Twitter or on Telegram to get access to the group. There is, of course, a link in the description where you can directly request to join, but I will just deny you. I deny everybody that tries without following the steps, you know, and if I see you trying too much, I outright ban you from the channel. You will never get access. So don't try to like swindle your way into the group. You will not get in. You know, we are really checking everything manually. You know, it's all manually checked. If you follow the steps together with the exchanges. So here on the Bitcoin dominance, we are slightly above 59.75%. With the repo money coming just in a little bit, I can see maybe a 60% touch, but the direction is still in the long term remaining here to the downside. So we are putting most likely here a lower high end compared to this one here. Maybe at 60.5%, something like this. Then you're gonna see it flipping to the downside. The total free market cap held actually on to $835 billion. This starts to look now like a bullish order block, where we get a continuation pump to $865 billion, facing the downward sloping resistance here. This is not actually a W formation. And once we are breaking this, then we move into the next resistance area at $912 billion to $950 billion. Ethereum approaching also here resistance. I would not take a trade from here right now because we are running here into major resistance at $3,090 to $3,156. Here you need to wait. Either that price gets into that range here, starts consolidating to long this, or we get a rejection back to $3,020, $3,000 in that range, and you long it from here. And then you can long that to $3,400 approximately. Solana, same thing. When I go to the daily chart, here we touched resistance. We touched resistance at $128. Got currently rejected from there. And it looks like that we consolidate a little bit more in this range here. So just that you see it here, this is the range that Solana is trading in, $124.50 to like $127.60. And we need to break out of that range here for a proper continuation. But for now, we're gonna remain in this as I can see that. So a quick look at Monero. Monero is moving down here because Bitcoin is slightly moving down. So here, there you see it. Let me go to 50 minutes chart. So yeah, here, see we're moving down. That's why Monero is moving also slightly down. But on the 50 minutes chart. So this might turn around here. Yeah, soon. I would still, so this was the original trade setup that you see here. So I got out earlier overnight at $484 myself, and I have actually the proof. So just that you see that. I'm not making this up that that I actually did this. Let me see if I'm okay. Futures, orders, order history, close long. There, close long. Where's the proper close of that? Our position history is way better. So there. Yeah. So here, just a second. So let me show you. The camera turned off again. Horrible. I need to get the other stuff for the camera to make sure that this doesn't happen anymore. So in 5 days, in 5 days, it's not gonna happen anymore. So here. There you see it. See that was my Monero trade, $484.26. That's where I closed that. So nobody. So you see what sniper exit that was when I got out. So I literally got out. Okay, if nobody wants anything, then I'm just leaving, you know. Or is here the stream so delayed? Yeah, I think here's something going on with my internet, man. So strange. This is so strange, man. Oh wow, yeah, there was also a drop off. Come on, guys. One coin. I can do one coin, then I'm leaving. Yeah, I definitely think that I had some internet problems here. This is crazy. Okay, guys, you know what? I'm gonna leave again. Because something is up here with the internet. So I think it's better that I just finish up here. So guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm gonna see you again tomorrow. Don't forget, smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and I hope to see you with a massive pump tomorrow.